you're around in. I know what the car you're driving home in. I know how far you're going, and I'll be better of you. I know what the window's open. I know what the rack is broken. I know what the room you're around in. When I'm coming in the rough you. 1, 2, 3, look at me, I'm so pretty, baby. Come with me. Bitch, you near, bitch, you near, bitch. 1, 2, 3, look at me, I'm so.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to CZE Podcast. Today,
I'm your host, Chris.
We got Chris.
And this is also your host,
Evan.
And we have a couple stories we want to get right into today, right?
That's right.
It's, I think we're going to start with what's going on in Washington. I think it started in Minnesota, actually. And
Minnesota?
Minnesota was the first that I think it was Minnesota. It was the first that I heard of people setting a mailbox full of ballots, a ballot box on fire, a ballot drop-off box. A box that holds ballots was set on fire. And now Oregon and Washington. Then as of today in Pennsylvania, a Democrat was threatening a Republican poll person. And this is to some degree an attempt at election interference. This would be classified as election interference. They say over 100 ballots got, people can say, well, you know what? Only 20 ballots got ruined in Oregon, or however many in Washington, 100. And then over in Minnesota, there was only a few, whatever. But it doesn't matter. What matters is those people, we have no solution to this problem. Like, we have no solution to what happens to their votes now.
They're gone.
They're gone.
They got diddied.
There's
no using them anymore.
They went to a freak off and got diddied.
So this article that's been bestowed upon our wonderful eyes as violent attack on democracy.
Yes. Ballot
boxes set ablaze in Oregon and Washington.
Now, I believe this was in Vancouver, Washington.
Yep, Vancouver. In Oregon, Portland, police said they responded to reports of a fire at a ballot box in the Buckman neighborhood at about 3:30 a.m. on Monday. 30 minutes later, and less than 15 miles to the north, police in Vancouver, Washington, responded to an arson at a ballot box.
What's funny about this is, it's their side doing it. It's their side because our side doesn't act like this. It's your side, you lefty lunatics. It's your side that acts like this. Your side goes around and tries to burn down places and burn down whole buildings and cities and set things on fire, causing billions of dollars of damage and causing a whole lot of election interference. It's the only way, at this point, in my opinion, y'all can win. It's the only way that y'all can win.
Unfortunately, so.
Cheating. They lie and they cheat, and they cheat and they lie.
Later Monday, Portland police released 2 photos of a vehicle. Investigators believe it was tied to both fires. It was described as 30 minutes later, less than 15 miles to the north, they drove that and what? Oh, they were tied to both fires, so they had to drive from Portland to Vancouver. I thought Vancouver was like way up north in Washington.
Well, no, that's in Canada.
That's Vancouver, Canada, BC. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, later Monday, Portland police released 2 photos of a vehicle investigators believe was tied to both fires. It was described as a black or dark-colored 2001 to 2004 Volvo S60 with no front license plate and an unknown rear plate. We don't know the motive behind these acts. Well, I'll tell you the motive right now. It's because they don't want President Donald Trump to win this election. That's their motive.
Well, that can't be the only motive, because I think it's that they don't want him to win the popular election, because there's no way he's going to win the Electoral College of Washington or Oregon.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's my...
I think it's pretty common knowledge that Trump is going to win both votes, popular vote and Electoral College.
I hope so.
Look at the way
we need people. We need to get out and vote. Get out there and vote. Do your early voting, because we're on to that shenanigans now. So now we've adapted that way, and let's hop on that early voting. Let's get it done.
We don't know the motive behind these acts, Assistant Chief Amanda McMillan said in a statement. We do know acts like this are targeted and they're intentional. That's true.
My whole thing with this is, what are you accomplishing? And like I was saying, in Pennsylvania, the poll worker, was literally threatened. I don't know. That's a. Can we bring up that article?
What article?
About Pennsylvania. It was just type in like Democrat threatens, Republican poll watcher.
Here we go.
Yep.
That was October 21st.
This is Reuters. Man accused of threatening Pennsylvania party employee over poll watchers. Yes, and this is insanely crazy. Look at this. A Pennsylvania man was charged with threatening to kill an employee of a state political party who had recruiting people to monitor polls for the November 5th U.S. election, according to court documents made public on Monday. So this just shows you how depraved their side is. That there's no length that they're not willing to go to completely sow chaos and division and just annihilate every bit of democracy that Donald Trump is threatening.
Get a load of this. John Courtney Pollard, 62, of Philadelphia, is accused of sending threatening messages to the unidentified party employee, including vowing to skin you alive.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
we're fine.
Not. Yeah, I know. But it gets worse than that.
It does?
Yeah. He sent a couple messages.
This is outrageous right here.
Yeah.
This is just outrageous. According to an indictment filed by federal prosecutors in the Western District of Pennsylvania. That's all you guys got to know about that.
It's awful. Like, you're threatening somebody's life. Donald Trump's been shot at multiple times, and all of a sudden, like, you're offended by words that we say. Something's twisted, and we are definitely living in a clown world, and it definitely does not make sense. This is sickening. It's sickening because you don't see MAGA or Trump supporters at all going around doing causing this sort of chaos.
Yeah, we don't really do that. We do know acts like this are targeted and they're intentional, and we're concerned about that intentional.
You're back to the ballot drop boxes.
Yeah,
it's the same. Yeah, it all ties in. It all ties into the same exact thing because it's literally just something. It's literally something that is not helping this country unite. It's literally something that's helping nobody. It doesn't help the Democrats because I think we got more eyes on the election this time around than in 2020. A lot more. And you're gonna get caught. It's not worth it. It's literally to the letter destroying democracy.
Right. Hundreds of ballots damaged in Washington, damaged, limited in Portland. That's good. Voting in both states takes place almost entirely by mail-in drop boxes, which is dumb. Washington Governor Jay Inslee called the fires a violent attack on democracy.
It's funny that Jay Inslee. It's funny that Jay Inslee has a that's a violent attack on democracy. Jay Inslee is a lot of people you always hear about Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmore. You always hear about these awful governors. Oh my gosh, who was the one of New York?
Oh, I know his name.
Cuomo. Yeah. You always hear about these awful people, but you never hear about an awful, awful governor named Jay Inslee. Like,
his name never comes to light, like, ever.
No. Although he did run for president, and
he did?
He massively didn't even come close to even making it through the primary, making it to the primaries.
So, lefty boy Jay Inslee called the fires a violent attack on democracy and promised enhanced 24-hour security at ballot drop-off locations. So, I know here at my local library, there's a ballot drop-off location, and I don't know if there's enhanced security there. I mean, what would happen if I just go there?
Well, this just happened, though, right?
Yeah.
We should check that out. We should see if that's something that happened at all. It's literally just gonna be a cop or something driving by or something. Like, you're not going to station it all throughout Seattle and all throughout all the cities and towns in Washington State.
Right, yeah.
James Lee is an idiot. James Lee is an idiot. I can't stress enough. He's an idiot.
We will do everything to keep our election system strong and secure in Washington, he said. Our state and local election teams are fully dedicated to making sure every person's vote is counted fairly and accurately. Bullshit.
Yeah.
All right.
So...
do I need to get into this? Whoa.
Yeah, no.
That's that story.
Just wanted to bring that to light because the closer that election comes, we're 6 days out, the closer that election day comes... my prediction is we're going to start seeing this escalate, and it's not just going to be ballot drop-off boxes getting lit on fire. It's going to lead to violence. And
not just in the PNW either. This is going to spread across the country, I believe.
Well, you see it. It's already, like, Pennsylvania,
yep.
Minnesota. Like, I mean, it's already outside of the Pacific. Like, so it's gonna be everywhere.
My fear is that Republicans, like, they're gonna start seeing more and more of it pop up, and they're gonna get irritated and start actually fighting back, like assaulting people doing this, or even, God forbid, shooting people doing this. Like,
yeah, I don't know that it's gonna go that far, because even when in 2020 when they were shooting people in Oregon, like, for wearing a MAGA hat, Republicans, in my opinion, conservatives are like, stand back. They're patient. But yeah, that is, I think, a realistic fear eventually of getting to a spot where conservatives are like,
fed up.
Nope, not anymore. Not going to take this BS. That's why it's a little nerve-wracking to think about the outcome of this election come Tuesday, or, the week of Tuesday, or the month of November.
A week away, guys.
It's a little nerve-wracking thinking about the chaos that ensues. So it's going to be one of those things where, hopefully cooler heads prevail, and hopefully there's no violence, and there's no more of this bullshit going on.
Right.
Because that's exactly what it is.
Sounds like a bunch of hoopla.
But going to our next story, it kind of ties into this. Let's see. Harris makes case. So Kamala Harris makes case against Trump in closing pitch speech at site of January. Go back. This is what I wanted to get to. No, here. But this is what I wanted to get to. This is the headline right here. Ready? Harris says election is a choice between freedom and division. Pause right there. Who's the one sowing division? It is the liberals. As we just covered about the ballot drop boxes getting completely burned, people's votes not counting because of somebody who lit some ballot boxes on fire. You have the whole left. Calling, not everybody, obviously I'm not going to generalize everybody on the left, but you have a lot of people on the left calling Trump Hitler, comparing his Madison Square, his huge rally. What was there, 70,000 people, I think I read?
It's pretty crazy.
At Madison Square Garden in New York, in the heart of Manhattan. Like, and all of these people on the left are sitting there going, oh, you know what else happened at Madison Square Garden in 1939? A Nazi rally, so he's a Nazi. I mean, okay, I'm sure that Hitler brushed his hair. Do you brush your hair? Do you comb your hair? You're a Nazi.
I guess so.
Did you sit down in a chair? You're a Nazi.
Eat food?
Did you eat
Nazi.
Certain food? Nazi. Do you like animals?
Do you
Nazi.
like
Hitler liked it. Like, so the thing is all this rhetoric and name calling and all this crazy, like, he's Hitler, he's evil, he's bad, he's a threat to democracy, he's a Nazi, his followers are Nazis. Somehow, I don't know, I still can't get past the fact that we have Jewish and black Nazis now, but they're all Nazis. And then the headline is just the funniest thing. This election, is a choice between freedom and division, coming from the side that does nothing but sow division.
And divide. Look at this. Driver finds a box of early voting ballots in the middle of the road. How does this shit happen?
Yeah.
They try so hard.
Yeah, there's some crazy shenanigans afoot.
Yes. I would like to watch this, though. You want to get into this?
We can, yeah. Let's see what's going on.
All right.
Let's get past the ad.
I just want to play something the Vice President said tonight.
America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time.
What? Turn the page on the drama and division that you're causing. Who's causing it? How is Trump causing it? He, by laying out policies, by laying out certain steps that he'd take. What is Kamala doing? And she wonders why she is so low on male support and male voters.
Except for white dudes for Harris. Don't forget about them.
I said male voters.
I know.
Male.
Oh.
So, I really do. We go out of our way. We love nicotine. We go out of our way not to smoke or vape or whatever on camera when we're, filming these. But this bitch makes me want some nicotine.
New generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States.
Okay, but Kamala Harris, you're not ready for that role. If you were ready for that role, we would have seen it in your past 3 years of your vice presidency role. As border czar, Joe Biden's right-hand woman. We haven't seen any form of good leadership from you. All we've seen is inflation, taxes are going up.
That's an excellent point, especially the bringing up the board. Like, she's ready to turn the page. Turn the page on what? All the rapists and murderers that you led in our country. Turn the page on what?
Turn the page now.
The parents that have lost their children due to illegal immigration and violent gangs coming up here. Turn the page on what exactly? It reminds me of. We'll find the clip after this. It's so funny. We'll play it after this. I'll have you bring it up.
Of America.
Gretchen, how do you think it played?
Look, this was the antithesis of division. This was about contrast.
So, if that sounded a little familiar, and it was on the fly, but like that one where she gets really intense. And she's, turn the page. We're gonna what? Turn the page. And I guarantee you that it is the most psychotic thing that you have ever seen in your life. Okay, I think this is it right here. Yep, and this is 1 minute. Here we go.
Turn the page. You like that? Okay, so I need you to be with.
Watch this psycho's eyes. He found, literally, she has to be more psychotic than Tim Walz. She has to be, yes, but her in particular, and this is what I was getting at with Kamala Harris, going, turn the page. Let's turn the page from this shit. Let's go.
Me and practice with me. What are we going to do? We're going to turn the page. Oh, pretty good. Do it again. We're going to turn the page. And we're going to turn the page. All right, so I'm going to be watching you because when I see Wisconsin, and I'm watching nationally on TV because this is a pretty important place, and Minnesota helped you practice with this, you just show me this. Turn the page. right? Turn the page. And you know what else that looks like? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page.
She is insane.
However, these people are psychotic, and this is what Kamala Harris wants to turn the page from. She wants to turn the page from somebody with sound policy, somebody that makes sense when it comes to the border, somebody that makes sense when it comes to taxes, somebody that makes sense when it comes to energy independence, somebody that makes sense when it comes to helping the American people. It doesn't make sense to turn the page from that. It does make sense to have policies and not rip off everybody else's policies, Kamala. It does make sense not to do that. We're trying to turn the page from the Biden administration, from the Biden-Harris administration, not from the guy that you people claim are trying to kill democracy. These people are
savage,
sick.
All right, so this was interesting. The antithesis of division. No, she's a pretty good thesis of division.
And plagiarism. Might as well throw that out there too.
I guess so. I mean, look at this. Vice President Kamala Harris reminded the large crowd tonight at the Ellipse in Washington, D.C. that it was the location where former President Donald Trump wanted to overturn the will of the people on January 6, 2021. In what was billed as her campaign's closing argument, she contrasted herself with Trump, saying she would bring a to-do list to the White House in place of his enemies list.
Now, they're going like this. If they're neck and neck right now, this is why they're doing this. If they're neck and neck right now, that means that Trump's actually ahead. Because Biden at this point in like a lot of in swing states was up like 8% and ended up winning like by 3 or 4. And so it's like if she's 0.2, 0.5 ahead, or they're neck and neck, Nate Silver, that guy is something else.
Where's the polls thing?
Oh yeah, so real clear polling. Let's bring up real clear polling.
For some reason I thought it was Nate Silver polling or something.
So real clear polling I think is a couple different.
National,
look at this.
Trump versus Harris. Ooh, he's up by 0.4.
Yep. And Pennsylvania? Where are we?
Pennsylvania, Trump's up by 1.
Trump's up by 0.6.
North Carolina.
It was 0.4 earlier.
Georgia, 2.4.
Yep.
Damn.
That's Trump country.
Trump is winning everything, basically.
Yes. Because everyone doesn't want to turn the page from this. No, we're not saying trust the polls. Because you can't, really. Because they are oftentimes wrong. However, what we are saying is get out there and vote. And when you see signs that are like this, don't get complicit and don't be like, okay, well, he's already got this in the bag, so I'm just not going to do anything. Go vote, go do your thing, and let's make this happen. And like a lot of other people have been saying, let's get Trump to win the popular vote as well, not just the Electoral College. And that way, when people try and come at you and go, well, he only won because of the Electoral College system, and this is a point that I think I saw on Timcast, and it really resonated with me because that's literally what a lot of leftists will say. And then you can be like, no, you won the popular vote too, bitch.
Yeah, he's winning. He's ahead right now in a lot of the swing states in the early voting.
Yeah.
So.
Nope, absolutely. 100%. And I just hope we don't really get complicit because we don't need a November surprise on top of an October surprise. By the way, what was the October surprise? Wasn't it? He's a Nazi.
And the burning stuff, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Surprise. You thought your vote counted? Burn. Political opinion, because ultimately it just leads to things like this. Things like Joe Rogan getting his show getting shadow banned, his interview with Trump in particular. Getting shadow banned and not being able to be found. You can't find the full interview. I think you can now. Let's try it.
Yeah, it pops up. So
yeah, so now it's back. But it's funny. it got so many views and it was so popular, and now it's just gone, and then all of a sudden it popped back up once once YouTube and Google get called out.
Yeah. I've been watching it. I've been trying to watch it a little bit, but I got about there, then I fell asleep.
Yeah,
it was a little bit boring, I'm not gonna lie.
I was up, like, I watching it
Yeah.
Friday night. But honestly, this is wild because it's the biggest podcast in the world. You need men support. A lot of men watch Joe Rogan. A lot of people can identify with Joe Rogan, and they go hunting. Joe Rogan goes hunting. They watch UFC. Joe Rogan is UFC. I mean, he's an icon. He's a hilarious comedian. People find funny. He's just good at what he does. And it's a shame because I honestly would almost pay money to see Kamala go on Joe Rogan.
We didn't talk about this.
We did talk about this.
I don't think we did.
We talked about all the celebrities that endorsed Kamala.
Did we talk about Eminem? What day was this? This was October 24th.
Oh, okay.
Last one we uploaded was over here. It's Tuesday. So this happened later. We didn't talk about this yet. So Eminem, our friend, our first ever CZE podcast episode was on Eminem.
Regrettably.
And then he comes around and stabs us in the ass with this.
Stabbed you? I never fell for his bullshit.
So Eminem stumps for Kamala Harris at Detroit rally. I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution. It's funny because only retribution is coming from the left side.
Yep.
So it's like, what is he talking about here?
I remember, like, Zen's thing was like, dude, Houdini? Like, no, he's going back to the old Eminem. Or I think my sister said that as well. Like, no, he's going back. He's finding himself again.
So, no. Incorrect, actually. My whole thing was, yes, Houdini is a Slim Shady song, not he's going back to his old ways outside of this random-ass album that was fucking mid. All right? So, Chris, if you ever try to start some shit...
It's like, really?
No.
Really? Because, awfully hot coffee pot, that whole thing, this guy comes out and just trashes anybody who's MAGA, anybody who votes for Trump, half his audience probably. But thank God that he's just not a relevant person.
Yeah. I mean...
In the rap world, perhaps, maybe, but I think he's a bitch. And you have him, who posted that? I saw it on X when he's like getting dressed up as a female.
Who?
Eminem.
What?
Oh yeah,
What's
for
that
sure.
search?
For sure. I don't know. I forget, but Eminem gets dressed as a female. It's what you gotta do to be famous. You gotta do this type of shit. Yep, there it is. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
All right.
Like when Phil said this, like dress up as a Britney thing, I was like, yeah. I don't think I really put much thought into it, yeah. I'm keeping it gangster, homie. I'm keeping it gangster. I'm keeping it real. It's all about keeping it real.
Okay, come on, man. Right, yeah.
Oh, wait, I gotta hold it, huh?
Oh my God! I'm a girl!
So yeah,
what I was gonna say here is this your guys' GOAT? This is the king of rap and hip hop here. This is who you guys support. If it is, I respect you. I don't respect him.
I don't.
No longer. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities that are forced to dress like that, and in order to be in that Hollywood sort of atmosphere and you want to get to the top, you gotta bend over and take it and let them know you're in charge of me. You tell me what to do. You tell me to jump, I ask how high. You tell me to run, I ask how far. I just want money. I'm money motivated. I'm money this. I'm money hungry. But I find it weird, ever since the P. Diddy thing did happen, that all these celebrities come out and endorse Kamala
supporters.
because they know that their asses are about to get taken down. You got idiots like Robert De Niro. That's why I think they say never meet like your hero. I used to love Robert De Niro when I was younger. And now it's like, I see him and I'm like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit.
Huh.
Same with Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Piece of shit.
Well, guys, that's all the stories we had for today. You have anything else you want to touch on?
That's everything right now that we've got.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys checking back in with us. Go ahead and follow us on X.
Yep. Subscribe to us, leave a like on the video, and give us any video ideas you guys have in the comments. We'll be trying to post more consistently. I'm not going to hold us to that quite yet because we still got a few screws to
tighten up.
To tighten, yep.
So, yep, YouTube, X, and soon to be some other things.
Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right.
And let us know if you guys want to see another man on the street, because we've been debating that too.
Yes, we do want to do that eventually.
We will go and have some fun with that.
All right.
Until next time.
See you guys. This has been
have
CZE.
fun.
Peace out.